Hey Cowboys fans, it is finally that time again, the start of a brand new NFL season. And the spotlight is shining on America's team as they head into Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The stakes are high, the energy is palpable, and the pressure is on right from the opening kickoff. It is Thursday night, prime time, and while the Eagles are expected to be favorites, not a shocking revelation considering their Super Bowl triumph, the Cowboys are quietly preparing to make a statement. This is the kind of matchup that could define a season where every play, every adjustment, and every decision can set the tone for the months ahead. The narrative is clear. Dallas is the underdog, but that only makes the potential for a shocking upset even more electrifying. The fans are hungry for it. The players know what's at stake, and the coaches have to be sharp and decisive to seize the moment. The Cowboys come into this game with a relatively clean injury report, which is a good sign for a team that wants to hit the ground running. Trayvon Diggs is fully participating despite lingering concerns about his knee. Tyler Tunn and Brevin Spann-Forward are also cleared and ready to go, while Perry Winfrey remains questionable due to back tightness. Having a solid lineup, particularly along the defensive line, will be crucial against an Eagles offense that is both explosive and disciplined. Philadelphia, meanwhile, is dealing with its own roster considerations. A.J. Brown is back to full participation. After recovering from a hamstring injury, Jalen Carter is ready to go. But there are a few pieces worth monitoring, including Joshua Uke and Andrew Makuba, who have minor limitations. Landon Dickerson's status remains uncertain, and the backup, quarterback at corner Tanner Muck, is likely to be inactive. These small details can matter significantly in a matchup where every advantage counts, and keeping an eye on who is actually available could be the difference in crucial moments. Dallas' path to victory starts with stopping the run. Saquon Barkley, one of the best running backs in football last season, presents a massive challenge. He carried the ball more than 300 times last year, racking up over 2,000 yards in 16 games, an extraordinary workload that put him in MVP discussions. Barkley is not just a runner. He is dynamic with the ball in his hands, capable of breaking big plays when defenses overcome it or misread their assignments. The Cowboys' run defense struggled last year, ranking near the bottom of the league in multiple categories. They allowed far too many yards per carry, were inefficient in expected points added per rush, and often gave up big plays after initial contact. The hope is that the addition of Kenny Clark bolsters the interior, helping to fill gaps and slow Barkley down. But no single player can completely fix systemic issues. It will take coordination, discipline, and execution across the defensive front seven to contain one of the most explosive running backs in the league. Equally important is the passing game. Dak Prescott must recapture the level of play he displayed in his best seasons. If the passing attack is inconsistent or underwhelming, the Cowboys' chances of winning diminish sharply. CeeDee Lamb needs to perform at an elite level, showing the creativity, explosiveness, and reliability that make him one of the top receivers in the league. George Pickens, now a key target, has opportunities to exploit mismatches, particularly against corners who are not among the top tier. And tight end Jake Ferguson has to command the middle of the field with efficiency and toughness. The offense as a whole must be dynamic, capable of stretching the field vertically and horizontally, creating lanes for Prescott to operate, and forcing the Eagles' defense to defend every inch of real estate. Timing, rhythm, and decision-making will all be critical as the Eagles' defensive schemes under defensive-minded coaches are notoriously disciplined and opportunistic. Pressure on the quarterback is another cornerstone of Dallas' strategy. Jalen Hurts is an athletic, mobile quarterback who can extend plays with his legs and create opportunities that static pass rushers cannot always anticipate. Containing him requires more than speed and strength. It requires precision, coordination, and an understanding of when to collapse the pocket and when to funnel him into areas of limited effectiveness. Hurts is capable of spectacular throws downfield, but he is less consistent over the middle, and he does not always make rapid decisions under pressure. The Cowboys' pass rushers, including Dante Fowler, Marshall, Sam Williams, Ezaraku, and others, will need to work in harmony with interior defenders like Kenny Clark to force hurried throws and disrupt timing. This balance between containment and pressure could be the difference between a close game and a decisive win. The running game for Dallas must also show signs of life. The ground attack has been inconsistent in recent years, and while preseason glimpses have been promising, Translating those flashes into real game impact is another challenge entirely. A successful run game will not only contribute yards and potential touchdowns, but also set up the passing attack by keeping the defense honest. Without it, Prescott will face long third downs, and the rhythm of the passing game can be disrupted. Managing the line of scrimmage, creating running lanes, and finding creative ways to involve backs like Devin Williams and others could unlock the offensive scheme, keeping Philadelphia guessing and off balance. Finally, the intangible element of mindset cannot be ignored. Brian Schottenheimer, the new head coach, must find ways to inspire belief and focus within the team. The nobody believes in us mentality can be a powerful motivator, especially when facing a team widely regarded as superior. Channeling that underdog energy into discipline, confident, and calculated play could spark a performance that exceeds expectations. History shows that teams playing with a chip on their shoulder often rise to the occasion, defying predictions and creating memorable moments for fans and players alike. Cultivating that mindset, particularly after an offseason full of adjustments and transitions, could be the psychological edge Dallas needs to compete at the highest level. In Philadelphia, the Eagles have their own challenges and opportunities. Coming off a Super Bowl win, there's the ceremonial spotlight that can sometimes be a distraction or disrupt the early season. Focus, injuries, and player availability are always a concern, and even small changes in personnel can influence matchups across the field. How they respond to Dallas' defensive schemes, their offensive line performance, and the ability of Hurst to execute both in the air and on the ground will all contribute to the narrative of this first game. While they are favorites, nothing is guaranteed, and the Cowboys have every incentive to start the season with an upset that sets the tone for the rest of the year. The dynamic nature of football, where preparation meets execution, makes every snap meaningful. Matchups along the line, precision in the passing game, discipline in the secondary, and the ability to capitalize on opportunities created by turnovers or big plays will determine who comes out on top. The Cowboys' combination of young talent, experienced stars, and strategic coaching could allow them to exceed expectations, but it will require flawless coordination and a relentless mindset. Every fan watching knows that a game like this is more than just the numbers on paper. It is about heart, execution, and seizing the moment when it matters most. The stakes are enormous, and the excitement is palpable. From kickoff, every moment on the field will be scrutinized, analyzed, and remembered. The Eagles have home field advantage, championship experience, and a roster full of talent. But Dallas has the hunger, the strategy, and the opportunity to shock the football world. Each play will contribute to the story. Every decision will echo in the outcome, and the players must rise to the occasion. The preparation and practice, the study of film, and the mental readiness will all be tested in real time, and the Cowboys' ability to execute under pressure will define not just the game, but the narrative of the season's opening chapter. As the game clock ticks down toward kickoff, the tension in the stadium is almost tangible, and every player on both sides knows that Week 1 is more than just a starting point. It is a statement. For the Cowboys, it is about showing that the off-season adjustments, the new coaching strategies, and the roster changes can translate into real performance on the field. Each snap, each coverage, and each route run carries immense weight. The offensive line must hold firm, creating clean pockets for Dak Prescott to operate and opening running lanes for the backs. In the secondary, the defensive backs have to anticipate routes, adjust on the fly, and maintain discipline against some of the most dynamic receivers in the league. One missed assignment can quickly turn a well-planned defensive series into a big play for the Eagles. The psychological edge also plays a crucial role. Philadelphia enters this game with the confidence of a defending Super Bowl champion. Yet, that same confidence can sometimes create complacency. The Cowboys have the advantage of being perceived as the underdog, a status that can inspire extraordinary performances when players embrace the challenge and feed off the energy of the fans. The mentality of us against the world is not just a cliche, it is a strategic tool. It can galvanize a locker room, strengthen focus, and elevate performance in critical moments. Brian Schottenheimer must harness this energy, ensuring that every player is mentally prepared to play fast, smart, and with a sense of urgency from the first snap. One of the most important aspects to watch will be the interplay between the Cowboys' offensive strategy and the Eagles' defensive schemes. Philadelphia's defense is disciplined and highly adaptable, known for disguising coverages and applying pressure at unexpected moments. To succeed, Dallas must create confusion for the defense using pre-snap motion, varied formations, and strategic play calling to exploit weaknesses. The combination of speed from CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, along with the reliable hands of Jake Ferguson, can stretch the field horizontally and vertically, forcing defenders to make split-second decisions that can lead to coverage breakdowns. Dak Prescott's ability to read the defense, make adjustments at the line, and execute with precision will ultimately determine the success of the passing attack. On the other side of the ball, the Cowboys' defense faces a formidable test. Stopping Saquon Barkley will require more than just stacking the box. It demands discipline, teamwork, and physical toughness across the front seven. Each linebacker and defensive lineman must maintain gap integrity, stay alert to misdirection plays, and tackle decisively to prevent extra yardage after contact. Barkley is not just a powerful runner. He is elusive, capable of making defenders miss in tight spaces and turning minimal gains into explosive plays. Limiting his opportunities will put pressure on Jalen to rely more on his arm, increasing the likelihood of mistakes. Under duress, every play designed to contain Barkley must be executed with precision, as even a single lapse can shift momentum and give the Eagles a psychological edge. Early in the game, special teams cannot be overlooked in a game of this magnitude. Field position, kickoff returns, and punts will all contribute to the overall flow and strategic positioning of both teams. A well-timed return or a block kick can swing momentum dramatically, affecting not only the scoreboard but the confidence and rhythm of both squads. The Cowboys' special teams unit must remain alert, disciplined, and ready to capitalize on opportunities or mitigate risks. In games where the talent gap may favor one team, the often overlooked special teams phase can be a critical equalizer. The tempo of the game will also play a significant role. The Cowboys may attempt to dictate the pace using no-huddle sequences or quick strikes to keep the Eagles' defense off balance. Fast-paced offensive drives can tire defenders, create coverage mistakes, and open up running lanes. However, controlling the tempo requires flawless execution, as mistakes in timing, routes, or snap exchanges can easily lead to turnovers. Conversely, the Eagles may try to slow the game down, relying on clock management, efficient passing, and a balanced rushing attack to control possession. The chess match between the two teams will unfold in real time, with each series providing critical insights into strengths, weaknesses, and tendencies. Line matchups along both offensive and defensive lines will be under intense scrutiny. The Cowboys' defensive front must generate pressure without sacrificing containment, while the offensive line must give Prescott the time needed to exploit mismatches. Inside the trenches, the battles are often as decisive as any skill position matchup. A single dominating performance by a lineman or a breakdown in protection can dramatically alter the flow of the game. The coach's ability to make adjustments at halftime, responding to what they see from the first half, will be pivotal in determining the second half dynamics and potentially the final outcome. The game's opening series will set the tone. How Dallas executes on the first drive can either instill confidence or expose vulnerabilities. Quick, efficient passes, a successful run game, and solid protection can put immediate pressure on the Eagles, while mistakes can energize the home crowd and force the Cowboys into reactive play. The mental aspect cannot be overstated. Early successes or failures can ripple throughout the game, affecting decision-making, aggressiveness, and overall composure. This is why preparation, focus, and execution in the initial moments are as critical as any big play later in the contest. Coaching adjustments throughout the game will define key moments. Brian Schottenheimer must balance aggression with caution, knowing when to challenge the defense with deep shots, when to rely on high-percentage throws, and when to establish the running game to keep Philadelphia off balance. Defensive calls must anticipate Hurts's mobility. The Eagles scream a sudden injury, a turnover, or a moment that thrives. The NFL world is abuzz with what many are calling the most shocking and monumental signing in league history, as the Dallas Cowboys reportedly secure the services of Tyreek Hill in a move that could redefine the dynamics of professional football. Insiders suggest that the deal, which remains shrouded in speculation regarding its exact financial details, represents not only an unprecedented investment in a single player, but also a clear statement of intent from a franchise desperate to return to the pinnacle of the sport. Analysts have begun dissecting every possible implication of Hill joining the Cowboys, from offensive schematics to locker room chemistry, predicting a ripple effect that could shift power balances. Across the league, fans have taken to social media in droves, oscillating between euphoric celebration and cautious skepticism, debating whether Hill's explosive speed and playmaking ability can translate into sustained team success. Meanwhile, rival organizations are reportedly scrambling to evaluate their strategies in response, with whispers of potential counter moves already circulating in front offices, hinting at a domino effect that could redefine this offseason entirely. The atmosphere around Dallas has transformed into something akin to a carnival of expectation and speculation, with local sports bars, fan forums, and national broadcasts all amplifying the drama of what could be the NFL's most audacious gamble in decades, a narrative that seems almost too cinematic to be real. The sheer magnitude of the rumored deal has sent shockwaves far beyond the immediate football community, reaching mainstream media outlets and even political pundits who cannot help but comment on the spectacle that the Cowboys are orchestrating. Comparisons to other historic signings in sports history, from baseball's record-breaking contracts to basketball's marquee free agent moves, flood headlines, positioning Tyreek Hill as not merely a football acquisition, but a cultural phenomenon in the making. Financial analysts are reportedly crunching numbers in unprecedented ways, projecting the economic impact of Hill's presence on merchandise sales, ticket demand, and national television ratings, suggesting that the Cowboys might have engineered a scenario where their brand becomes globally dominant overnight. Insider reports hint at a meticulously crafted pitch from Dallas management, blending promises of championship contention with personal incentives designed to maximize Hill's motivation, creating a scenario where a player's career trajectory could intertwine seamlessly with the franchise's ambitions. At the same time, murmurs from within the locker room suggest varying reactions among teammates, with some reportedly ecstatic at the prospect of working alongside one of the league's fastest and most dynamic talents, while others allegedly express concern about the potential disruption of established hierarchies and playing time, a tension that could make or break the season. This whirling cloud of excitement, speculation, and strategic calculation underscores the magnitude of a signing that seems destined to dominate headlines for months, if not years, and frames the Cowboys' maneuver as more than just a sports story. It is at this stage a phenomenon that might permanently alter the perception of what an NFL franchise can achieve through audacious, headline-grabbing action. Rumors surrounding Tyreek Hill's reported arrival in Dallas suggest a seismic shift in offensive strategy, with coaching staff allegedly planning to construct a playbook almost exclusively tailored to his explosive skill set. Sources close to the organization hint at high-octane vertical passing concepts, innovative motion schemes, and creative use of Hill in gadget plays that leverage his unmatched speed and agility. While specifics remain closely guarded, analysts speculate that defenses across the league will face a season-long challenge, having to adjust to a receiver capable of stretching the field in ways previously thought unmanageable. Off-field whispers indicate that Hill's presence might also serve as a magnet for other elite free agents, potentially transforming the Cowboys into an irresistible destination for top-tier talent, seeking both exposure and championship contention. The locker room dynamics, meanwhile, are said to be in a delicate balance, with leadership figures tasked with integrating a superstar without destabilizing the cohesion that has been painstakingly built over previous seasons. Fans are reportedly creating unofficial fan clubs dedicated solely to celebrating Hill's rumored signing, and social media metrics indicate a spike in Dallas-related engagement that could rival any major global sporting event. Betting markets are reportedly adjusting odds not only for Cowboys games, but for league-wide matchups, highlighting the perception that this single acquisition has the potential to influence outcomes far beyond one team, making this story not merely a rumor, but a multi-layered saga with both tangible and intangible consequences for the NFL ecosystem. As speculation continues to spiral, whispers within the industry suggest that Hill's rumored integration into Dallas's offense could redefine expectations for player utilization, with innovative coaching tactics potentially setting a precedent that other franchises may emulate. Executives from rival teams are allegedly observing every reported detail, from practice habits to media interviews, attempting to anticipate the ways in which the Cowboys might exploit Hill's abilities while minimizing risks such as injury exposure and defensive predictability. Meanwhile, pundits speculate that Hill's arrival could force a shift in league-wide trends, with younger receivers now expected to match his combination of speed, route precision, and field vision, potentially raising the overall standard for talent evaluation and player development. Behind closed doors, discussions about contract structuring, salary cap management, and long-term planning are said to be intense, with financial strategists considering the ramifications of what could be the most expensive single-player investment in NFL history. On the fan side, the rumor has sparked a frenzy of predictions, from bold championship forecasts to debates over how Hill's explosiveness might affect weekly game narratives, media coverage, and fantasy football leagues alike. The intensity of the speculation surrounding this move is reportedly so extreme that insiders describe the current atmosphere in Dallas as almost feverish, combining exhilaration with a touch of paranoia as the franchise and its followers navigate the unpredictable consequences of acquiring a player whose reputation alone generates headlines and transforms expectations at every conceivable level. While the details remain largely unofficial, the mere suggestion of Tyreek Hill joining the Cowboys has already begun to generate economic, cultural, and strategic ripples that extend far beyond the confines of AT&T Stadium. Sponsors and advertisers reportedly see an opportunity to leverage Hill's explosive persona in marketing campaigns that blend athletic prowess with mainstream appeal, while social media analysts project engagement metrics that could redefine the parameters of fan interaction for any single NFL franchise. Industry insiders speculate that Hill's signing could catalyze new forms of multimedia coverage, including behind-the-scenes content, player-focused documentaries, and interactive experiences designed to immerse fans in the evolving narrative. At the tactical level, reports indicate that coaching staff are allegedly designing contingency plans for every conceivable scenario, from injury management to opposing defensive adjustments, reflecting a meticulous preparation befitting a move of this scale across the league. Murmurs suggest a collective awareness that the Cowboys have potentially rewritten the template for how a franchise can leverage talent acquisition to generate both competitive and commercial advantage. Even casual observers are reportedly drawn into the swirling narrative, compelled by the combination of audacious strategy, player talent, and media spectacle, making Hill's rumored arrival a story that transcends sport and enters the realm of cultural conversation. If verified, this signing may come to symbolize a bold, unapologetic ambition, with the Cowboys positioning themselves as both trendsetters and disruptors, a franchise willing to risk convention in pursuit of glory, excitement, and perhaps an enduring legacy in the annals of NFL history. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.